Not only our Muslim communities, but African communities, Asian communities, Hispanic communities, and the wave still continues. It's not going to stop, nor should we want it to stop. As a matter of fact, it's one of the things I think we can be most proud of. There's a second thing in that black box, an unrelenting stream of immigration, non-stop. Folks like me who are Caucasian of European descent, for the first time in 2017, will be in an absolute minority in the United States of America. Absolute minority. Fewer than 50% of the people in America, from then and on, will be white European stock. That's not a bad thing. That's a source of our strength.
Today, several of our departments and agencies will make announcements regarding how we will advance this plan. And there is a clear line that runs throughout our administration's work. We are focused on the most vulnerable. And based on my experience, the most vulnerable are women and girls, racial and ethnic minorities, LGBTQI plus people, indigenous people, people with disabilities, migrants, and children in the foster care system.
We don't tell them where we're going. Like I said, a lot of this is just...
No, I get it. I just, like I said...
stuff that we don't tell people. Because what we don't want to do is attract attention. We don't want the media.
Yeah.
Like, we don't even know where we're going when they tell us.
Yeah. Right. Obviously.
I get the whole secrecy and all this but this is even about my thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean?
And why? You know why?
You know why.
Yeah, I know, but why? Yeah.
That's why. Come on.
No, but what's the big secret? Everybody knows it's happening.
You know why? Because it gets out. The government's betraying the Americans.
¿Hacia dónde van?
Miami.
¿A Miami? ¿Qué tal tu tiempo?
Gracias, gracias.
Dale, pues.
We stay focused. We continue to do the job and the mission that we signed up for. Right? We all signed up for it. We all raised our hand.
To defend the Constitution, not the...
It's not hard to say it. It may be hard for you to say it, but I've been doing this for 31 years. It's not hard for me to say it. Every day I wake up and I'm committed to this organization and I'm committed to each one of y'all.
You say the same thing, but it seems like the policy's not... But then you keep releasing criminal aliens in the country.
You're getting bogged down in the policies and the
You can't even
politics.
say illegal alien.
What's that?
That's why Chief Scott left.
You just said it.
You can't
You
say
say they're gonna happen to you? You just said it.
the whole generation.
Why are you guys getting caught up in semantics? Right? There's a mission out there to be had. We can sit here and argue about it till we're blue in the face. Right? I've been doing this job as long as y'all.
That's the problem.
What's that?
That's the problem, Chief. For evil to triumph is for good men to do nothing. That's
I can't hear
what's
you.
happening. For evil to triumph is for good men to do nothing. That's exactly what's happening here. Good men are doing nothing. You're allowing illegal aliens to be dropped off in communities.
You are doing something.
No, sir, we're not.
You are.
No, sir.
You're rescuing people every day. You're taking fentanyl off the streets every day. You're taking methamphetamine
Yes, and under this
criminal
administration
aliens
for the
off the
last
streets
year, we've
every
got the
day.
highest fentanyl death in the history of our country. In 1 year, in this country.
You know, we've made more fentanyl seizures already this year than we made last year.
How many have we not catch because we're focusing on expanding?
I don't know.
And that's the problem.
And we're working on it.
Well, where's the results? We don't have...
Go ahead.
Thank you, Jen. A question about immigration.
Sure.
Why is it that large numbers of single adult men are being released into the United States just hours after being apprehended at the southern border?
Well, I'm not sure the specifics of what you're referring to, Peter. What I can tell you in terms of what our policy is and how we're approaching the border is that we continue to be under Title 42. Migrants who cannot be expelled under Title 42 are placed into immigration proceedings, and one of those avenues could be placement in an alternative to detention program in the interior of the United States. Sometimes that means moving migrants to other parts of the United States to move to different detention facilities where they wait for next steps in the immigration process, such as a court hearing, and are required to check in with a local ICE office. So that is certainly something that is happening out there in the country and is consistent with our policy.
And you mentioned that they're supposed to check in at a local ICE office, but we know that just between March and August, which is a very small sample size, DHS says more than 47,000 of these migrants that were given notices to report did not show up. So why let them into the U.S. unsupervised in the first place?
Well, again, we have a stringent protocols and processes that we implement here. That includes expelling individuals who come in under Title 42, given we are still in a global pandemic, and includes those who do not show up will be subject to the repercussions of that. So that is the policy we're implementing from our Homeland Security Department.
I mean, our formula for success is getting first-round draft choice around the rest of the world. I mean, we're as dumb as we want to be. This whole damn border debate is made up. It's made up. Where's Congress? Where the hell are they? They haven't done their job.
Would you call the border secure?
I think that there is no question that we have to do what the President and I asked Congress to do. Is the first request we made. Pass a bill to create a pathway to citizenship. The border is secure.
The border is secure. The border is secure.
Government data showing there were more than 220,000 encounters with migrants along the border last month, the highest number in 22 years.
The highest number in 22 years.
I think that there is no question that we have to do what the President and I asked Congress to do. Is the first request we made. Pass a bill to create a pathway to citizenship. The border is secure.
We're going to have 2 million people cross this border for the first time ever. You're confident this border is secure?
We have a secure border in that is a priority for any nation, including ours and our administration. We also have to put in place a law and a plan for a pathway for citizenship for the millions of people who are here and are prepared to do what is legally required to gain citizenship. We don't have that in place because people are playing politics.
They arrived suddenly and reportedly without much warning. Migrants dropped off in Martha's Vineyard and outside the vice president's D.C. residence. The move courtesy of the governors of Florida and Texas.
Because they're human beings, just like you, just like your spouses, and just like your kids. And they don't deserve to be treated as they're being treated. And each one of us, I know this is a story, but if you could make it more personal and pretend that it's your child, and they need care, and they need our help. And so I'm asking you to use your power as the press to help them. Because we'll do everything we can, and you can believe this island community will do everything they can.
What are the most difficult challenges right now?
The difficult challenges are we have, at some point in time, they have to move from here to somewhere else, right? We don't have the services to take care of 50 immigrants, and we certainly don't have housing. We're in a housing crisis as we are on this island, and so we can't house everyone here that lives here and works here. We don't have housing for 50 more people.
Wait a minute.
But if you could make it more personal and pretend that it's your child, and they need care, and they need our help. At some point in time, they have to move from here to somewhere else, right? We don't have the services to take care of 50 immigrants.
You said they'd be left in the city under my supervision.
I am altering the deal. Pray I don't alter it any further.
¿Dónde los están llevando?
But the face-off between Republican governors and this administration is pretty pitched. And I guess I wonder, not internally, has the president reached out to any of these governors?
So here's the thing, and I was asked this question earlier today. I don't know why we would reach out to a governor or governors who are clearly playing a political game, right? It is something that they're doing not to find a solution, but to literally put people's lives at risk. And we're talking about people who are fleeing communism. We're talking about folks who are leaving Venezuela, leaving Nicaragua, leaving Cuba, because there are regimes there that are incredibly dangerous. And they're using these children, these families, as political pawns after dealing with the political stress that they're dealing from another country. So that's not the solution. That's a political game that they're playing. And so what we're doing is we're calling that out because it's dangerous. When you leave kids on the side of the roads of a busy street, that's dangerous. And we have heard from these families saying that they were worried, that they were scared, that they didn't know what was happening, what was going on. And it is incredibly shameful. And the question to Ron DeSantis, Governor DeSantis, is what are you telling to the people in Florida, your folks who are from those countries, that you are using these folks as a political pawn, as a political game? And look, we are ready. We've always been ready. On day one, the president has said he's put forward his immigration legislation, a comprehensive piece of legislation. And he said, let's figure out how do we fix this broken system. But instead, that's not what they want to. That's not what they want to do. They don't want to vote for historic amount of funds that would go to DHS to deal with this issue. They don't want to work on a real solution. So we're going to call that out, Alec.
I got a bad feeling about this.
But the fact is that we have a responsibility to secure our border. We also have a responsibility to recognize the importance of newcomers to our nation. Right now, the best thing that we can do for our economy is to have comprehensive immigration reform. We have a shortage of workers in our country, and you see even in Florida, some of the farmers and the growers saying, why are you shipping these immigrants up north? We need them to pick the crops down here. But that doesn't mean that we don't recognize our moral responsibility as well. The fact is that we have a responsibility to secure our border. We also have a responsibility to recognize the importance of newcomers to our nation. Right now, the best thing that we can do for our economy is to have comprehensive immigration reform. We have a shortage of workers in our country.